go in a random order that I just kind of picked, and we will rock and roll with that. So, Junior, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thank you for coming on the call with us tonight.
Welcome.
So, Junior, you issue paid 27,000, no, 29,000, probably going to be 30 by the time we get that last week. $29,000 issue paid in March.
Yeah.
Is that your biggest month yet?
I believe last month was our biggest month with 39.
Oh, okay. So 39 last month, 29 this.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Like 2 months ago was 39, I think.
Okay. So huge numbers back to back months, which is awesome. So, all right. Couple questions I want to ask you real quick. I'm going to ask everybody these questions. So 29 this month, 39 last month. How many hours would you say per week that you are working for those numbers, realistically?
Honestly, I would say usually we come to the office around 9 and 9:30 and we try to leave in between 7 and 7:30. There's no like really like right time. It depends if we have appointments or not, but it's usually in between, those times.
Okay. And you're doing that Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday?
Saturday we work a little less. We usually get here a little later, like 10:30, and we leave around 4 or 5, sometimes less, sometimes a little more. It depends on how the week is going.
Okay, perfect. And guys, I'm asking that because I want to give, if there's anybody new on this call, I want to give a realistic expectations about these guys are making a lot of money, but they're working their butts off as well, right? So a lot of times when we talk about this on social media and there's people that want to join us and things like that, this is in no way, this is an amazing, amazing opportunity, but this is in no way like, hey, I'm going to chill out for 2 hours and make 10 grand a month, right? So Junior, and real quick, guys, before I get back to Junior, I would be taking notes on this. I would have a notepad, right? And of every person that's going to be talking and different points that they're going to be hitting on. So that way you guys can reference it back later. Note takers are money makers. I know sometimes people think that's stupid, but when we get a lot of trading guys, we want to be able to reference back and be really plugged into what these guys are saying so that we can try to implement this in our own business. So Junior, sorry to interrupt you. What leads are you running? So are you primarily IUL, vet leads, mortgage, FEX?
Uh, Vet leads. We do vet leads mostly. Sometimes a little bit of IULs, but we focus on vet leads.
Okay, and vet leads are going to be Facebook generated, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what did you do? So I would say about 3-4 months ago, you were not issue paying 39, 29, none of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say that you did different to have these back-to-back big months between what you were doing before and what you're doing now?
I think it's a learning curve. When I started, I had a little trouble with my English. I'm from Brazil, so my second language is English. And also, asking questions, paying attention to the people that are selling the most, make it simple. So like at the beginning, I would come here, I would complain a little bit, and I would look at AJ, he's never complaining. He's always selling. And just spending more on leads and just seeing that the people that are selling the most are not really special. They're just spending more money and they're working harder. So just start complaining, buy more leads, and just work harder. It's really simple.
I love that. And how much have you increased your lead spend from when you were a brand new agent to now?
Well, at the beginning, I didn't spend a lot. They help us at the first month. They give us, leads for the first month until you get it. And then right now I'm spending usually around, I'd say between 4 and 6 thousand a month.
Okay, 4 and 6,000. So let's say you spend six, you issue pay 30. That's a pretty good ROI, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. The last time I spent money on leads was beginning of February. I spent 6,000 and it worked for 2 months. So I sold 39 and 29
Yeah. And
on
Junior,
that 6,000.
what were you doing before you found us again?
Construction, anything you
Okay.
can imagine. Pavers, roofing, anything that hurts your back, I did it.
I love it. So when you came into insurance and we were like, hey, you got to get some leads, were you weirded out by that? Like, were you freaked out by spending money to make money?
At the beginning, yes. The Brazilian culture doesn't have that a lot, like spending money to make money. That kind of creeps us out. But I was really good friends with AJ and a different person that left, and I just trusted them. If they're spending money and they're making money, count me in.
Yeah, that's huge. Now, talk about, I know you said a little bit about not complaining, which is super important. What would you say are some of your key mindset tips that you have for agents who want to produce the way that you're producing, but there's going to be bad days. What's your mindset about the business?
Uh, Try to make it as consistent as possible. it's a numbers game. So one day it might suck. The other day, if you just keep doing what has to be done, it'll compensate. So there were weeks where on Friday I had like 3,000, and then you have a magical day selling 10. And people say, oh, it's luck. But everyone forgets about the whole week that you didn't sell a lot. So it's not a coincidence that every month we put up close to the same numbers because we're just doing what has to be done.
Yeah,
So it
that's
evens out, I would say.
That's huge. I love that. All right, Junior. Well, thanks so much. I'm excited for when we get to have you on a call and we can do a more in-depth training, but I really wanted these guys to be able to hear from you because you're absolutely crushing it. So any last thing you want to leave the team with for some major advice?
Just ask a lot of questions when you're starting. There's people here to help you. We all want you to grow, and pay attention to people who are putting the numbers. Don't try to get advice from people who are not selling. Everyone tries to give you advice, but I always try to listen to the people who are at the top because I want to be at the top as well.
I love it. Listen to the right people. All right, guys, drop a JR in the chat. Give it up for him. Thank you so much. Miss Jenna Sonye, that's how you say it, right?
That is
What?
you say it. Very
I
well.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on with us tonight. You have been crushing it. $30,000 issue paid last month and this month. So 60K, 60 days. How are you feeling, girl?
Great.
And
Amazing.
how long have you been with FFL?
I would say I like started actually making calls in October, like end of October, like when Ignite was.
Okay, so less than a year, much less than a year, like 6 months.
Yeah,
And before that, did you have any sales experience or did you come from a sales industry?
0. I actually swore I would never do sales because I was just like, I have a very fiery personality, but I also was the person who was like, Um, I don't want to feel like I'm forcing something on someone because I don't like when people try to sell me. So I was like, I will never do that. Like so many of my good friends could tell you that I said I would never do sales.
Yeah, I love that. You always think you won't, and then you end up being like one of the best at it, which is awesome. Okay, so Jenna, so these guys can get for their notes. So 30K back to back to back. How many hours a week are you putting in on the phones and working for
A
that?
lot. I'm usually one of the first people to clock in and usually one of the last people to clock out. It really just depends. And in the beginning, that is absolutely crucial. That is the best advice I can give to newer agents. You have to lock in and do the work. I would say now it ranges, obviously, but I'm definitely putting in at least 60 hours a week, at least, I would say, depending.
Yeah, 60 hours. And what leads are you primarily running? Vet leads, IUL?
I only do IUL.
Okay.
I think it's really big on believing in what you do. When I started, we were doing mortgage protection still, and that just like did not click for me. It's not, I have anything against that, but like when we switched to IULs, it's something I genuinely believe in. I see what it can provide people with. And I think it's really important if you're in sales to believe in the product. And I do. I like IULs and I think it works. Like, why would you not want an IUL? Seriously.
Yeah, that's huge. I love it. And Jenna, what are some, because you've been crushing it, you said you have a fiery personality, but what are some of the traits that you think that you have on the phone or with your clients or in your daily process that really make you good at what you do?
Confidence. That is 100% everything. And that's really big at the beginning is getting the reps in and getting familiar with what you're saying and being confident in what you're saying because your tone is absolutely everything. I'm confident when I talk to people. I could have no idea what I'm talking about, and I will sound like I know what I'm talking about because I carry my voice with confidence. And I was not like that in the beginning. Like now I'm selling and it's because when I speak with confidence. I hold myself with confidence. I sound very sure of what I'm saying. That if somebody's confused, I actually rarely get people who are confused because of the way I present myself and carry myself. And I think it's absolutely huge to just get familiar with what you're saying And I tell all of my agents too, I say like, I'm walking my dog, I'm practicing my script. I'm brushing my teeth, reading my script. Like that's how you have to be in the beginning. And you have to make so many phone calls and go over that entire process so many times to hit that level of confidence. It doesn't like, there's such a small percentage of people who have never done this before and can walk in with that confidence. It takes the time. And that's why the hours are extremely important in the beginning if you want to be good.
Yeah, I love that. And Jenna, that was actually going to be my question is what can people do to kind of build that? And you just said it right there, like just get the reps in, no matter what you're saying. And Jenna, I remember you on a call at the very beginning when you like wouldn't know the answer and then you would ask on Zoom, but then you'd be like, boom, right at it. You would say it like that was just natural for you. And that was so important because your clients are going to feed off your energy and what you sound like.
Absolutely. And that's it too, because it is extremely nerve-wracking to like get on Zoom and be unmuted and you're nervous. And I was so nervous doing that in the beginning, but it's the only way you get better. And like, do you not want to get better? You want to get better. You want to hit 30,000 a month. Like it feels great, you know? And I like, yeah, like I still do. It is, you have to believe in yourself so much that nothing else is going to prevent you for like, I sucked for months. I was not producing at all, but I believed in myself. So I was like, I know I can figure it out. I just have to do it enough.
Well, I love it, Jenna, and we're super proud of you. And I love how everything you talk about, guys, if you hear her, it's not about this is what I'm doing. It's this is what we all can do. You guys can do everything she's talking about. You can do everything that these guys are all going to talk about. So guys, drop a JS in the chat. Jenna, thanks so much for getting on with us tonight.
Of course.
All right, on to the next. Let's talk to Mr. Dominic Scalise. Dom, how are you?
What's up? I'm doing good. Thanks for having us on.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on with us. Biggest personal month, is that correct? Or have you had a bigger one?
Last month was, but back to back.
Okay, back to back. So 30K, 31 this month. What was last month?
47. It's crazy.
Where the heck have I been? 47 and biggest team month. All right, so that's a lot of dollars. Dom, talk to us about how many hours you're working and what leads you're running.
Yeah, so we get in kind of like Junior said, 9 a.m. Everyone's here, and we tend to leave around 8-ish, I would say. So that's like what, 12, 13 hours days. And then we'll do kind of a half day on Saturday. So kind of like cool off, but then can't come back with that same energy week in and week out.
Yeah, love it. So definitely full-time hours, if not more than full-time hours. You guys, you're taking Sundays off, Dom, yeah?
Yes, one
Okay.
day set.
Now, how old are you?
24.
Okay, I have a question, Dom. You were valeting before this. Do you need $31,000 a month to cover your personal bills at home?
No, not at all.
Okay. Most people don't, especially not in their 20s. Okay. So you don't need that much money. And a lot of people in the business can tend to get complacent, right? And there's a lot of people that are like, I'm just going to do what I need to do to continue to get by. So can you talk to us about why are you doing that? Why are you going so beyond what you actually need to live, right? And what is your advice for agents to not get complacent and just be doing the bare minimum?
Right. So I will say this, I did get complacent at one point. When you see the most money you've ever made ever rolling in, it's very easy to try and slow it down a little bit. And I did just that. I stopped spending. I was like, oh, cool, I could coast a little bit now, like it's fine. But in all reality, it didn't feel right. And also the people that are working with us, I show up for them some days. Some days I don't even want to, right? But it's like that's where it really comes in. And that's why we all show up for each other at the end of the day as well. So having kind of like a running buddy and someone pushing you to set the bar higher and higher every single month, that's a big reason of the success in a sense as well.
Yeah. And Dom, you're recently engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are those conversations that you're having, with your fiance and the people in your life, your family, that's like, Dom, dude, you're making plenty of money. Why are you going to the office 6 days a week? Like, let's do this. Let's go hang out. Let's go boating. Let's go to dinner. Let's go on vacation. What are those conversations that you're having with your family for them to understand how important this is to you?
Right. It is tough sometimes, especially weekends and, that Saturday. And even being here right now, I'm still at the office. It's 8:30. And it's like those are the sacrifices that need to be made in order to not have to struggle 20, 30 years from now. I don't want to be in a spot of, we talk to people all day and some people, you ask them what they have for retirement and whatnot, and they don't have a lot. And you really see it day in and day out talking to these people that that's not a position I want to be in. So I'm going to put in the hours now, put in the work now, so I don't have to later, essentially.
Wow. Think about that, guys. Let that sink in for a second. The clients that we talk to every day that need our products so desperately because they don't have anything for their family. Dom's like, I don't want to be that person, and that's why it's so important to do this now. Love that. All right, Dom, anything major? So you've been mastering the business now for a year, growing, killing it, building a heck of a team. Any kind of last piece, like if you could leave the team with one piece of advice for them to have their biggest personal production month ever, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say something that you guys can apply tomorrow or even after getting off this call is just building the loyalty with your client. If you have a client that you're building the why as well as building the trust, and just being honest with them, that goes a long, long way. Um, at the end of the day, we talk about overcoming objections and overcoming, the banking, the social objection. That tends to go away if they trust you. So it's really just establishing that first, like I have your priorities in mind, and just showing that with how you talk to them. So the setup is more important than overcoming in a sense.
Love that, guys. Make sure you're writing that stuff down. The setup is more important than trying to overcome it. That's huge. All right, guys, drop a Dom in the chat and say thanks so much. Dom, thanks for getting on with us tonight. And we are super proud to have you on our team.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get some Latina spice going on. We're going to switch to Spanish for 1 minute here. Violeta, can you hear me, girl? Diggs, are you going to translate for me?
Absolutely.
Hi, hola.
Violeta, thank you for getting on with us tonight. I'm not going to try to be
No,
I'm not going to try to be too crazy. Your month this month was $28,000 issue paid. You've had a lot of back-to-back really big months. Can you talk to the team about what your recipe is for them and what you're doing and what they can do to implement to have their biggest personal production month?
Violeta dice que has tenido meses grandes uno detrás del otro. Ella pregunta cuál es tu receta para nosotros que estamos aquí de tener esos meses así atrás, uno tras de otros.
disciplina,
Discipline,
consistencia
consistency,
e inversión,
you gotta invest.
y muchas ganas de hacer esto, muchísimas ganas de hacer esto y creer en esto que estás haciendo.
You have to believe in what you're doing and you really gotta want this. Like, you gotta be hungry for this and be consistent, invest and show up every day. ¿Qué más? ¿Algo más?
Diggs, how many hours are you working a week to get 30K a month?
¿Cuánto tú trabajas, Violeta, en la semana?
9 de la mañana, 9 de la noche, todos los días, de lunes a sábado.
9 to 9, Monday through Saturday.
Okay, and what kind of leads?
Los leads que tú corres, the one from the agency, Facebook, IUL leads, Spanish.
Are you out?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And Violeta, can you give any advice to brand new agents that are maybe scared to invest in their business?
Para los agentes nuevos que tienen miedo de invertir en su negocio, ¿qué tú les recomiendas?
Si no inviertes, no crees en lo que estás haciendo, porque vas a tener miedo de que ese dinero no vuelva a ti. Tienes que creer en esto y esa inversión va a retornar.
Déjame
Todos los
traducir eso,
negocios
Violet.
arrancan. Sí,
She
ok.
said you have to invest, if you don't do it, it's because you're afraid. You don't believe in yourself because you don't think you're going to get the money back. And that's the only reason why you're not investing in leads. So you have to do that part, believe in yourself enough to invest and not to be afraid that it's not going to come back. ¿Qué más iba a decir?
Cualquier negocio que usted quiera hacer, tiene que hacer una inversión. Y si usted va a hacer el negocio de los seguros, tiene que invertir en leads para poder hacer el negocio de los seguros.
So any business you do, you have to invest. But in this business, you gotta buy leads. That's your investment. And if you don't do that, then it's no business.
Love that. All right, guys. Violetta, thank you so much. Gracias. Mucho.
Thank you.
Say that? Gracias.
Thank you.
mucho.
Thank you.
Guys, drop a V in the chat and make sure that you guys, if you have any, there's the Spanish opportunity, and Digna will tell you, is amazing in this industry. We need more Spanish agents. There's a billion gazillion Spanish clients, and we're just really, really excited to be growing this area of our business. So if you guys have people that speak Spanish or want to work in Spanish, guys, send them to Violetta, send them to Digna. They'll help them get going and do whatever we can to grow our team. So thank you so much. All right. Riyadh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Riyadh, two-time Hall of Famer. Let's see, 32K this month, but that's not your biggest month ever, right? What's your biggest month ever?
60, I think.
60K and 32 this month. What leads are you running?
Facebook IULs.
Okay, and how many hours would you say you're working a week right now to get to 32K a month?
Probably 60 plus.
Okay. Real, let's give some real talk here. So your comp is over 100%. You issue pay 32K. What is that looking like for deposits for you from a personal standpoint, would you say? Guesstimate.
It's quite a bit. I mean, it's kind of weird to talk about it right now because of the transition I did from mortgage protection to IULs, because I have a lot of fully underwritten business, right? So I have like 40 grand just pending right now. So I would say we'll take it back to like when I was doing all simplified issue, it's, easily 30 grand hitting the bank account.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's what I was looking for these guys to understand, right? If your comp's over 100, which most people are, you start at 80 and then you work up, but Riyadh's been here, two-time Hall of Famer, 400 grand issue paid in a year. So, I mean, if you're issue paying 32K, you should be depositing about 30 grand, sometimes a little more, a little less. So, Riyadh, you used to do a lot of mortgage and you're very comfortable in mortgage, 400 grand a year in mortgage, one of the best mortgage protection product specialists that we have had on our team. Talk to us about the switch to IULs, and if you have advice for people, whether they should be looking into those leads, what's been great about it, what should people kind of be doing if they want to make that switch?
Yeah, so I started with final expense, right? And I don't like to stay stagnant in anything I do. So I always try and get better. So I did final expense for first year and a half, and then mortgage protection was the thing. So I moved to that, even though I knew it was going to have a learning curve, just like I was starting again. So I did that. My production dropped for a little bit, learned mortgage protection, mastered that. Now I see where the company is going IUL wise, and it's like you either jump on the train or you get left behind. So I decided to, take the hit for 2 to 3 months on my production to learn how to do IULs. Now we're back to kind of where I was at before. It is quite a bit of a learning curve because fully underwritten, like I said, is a different ball game than what I'm used to. So I've honestly kind of went back to learning underwriting to get even better at it than before. Before was a lot easier. Simplified issue, you kind of know immediately. Fully underwritten, you really need to like dig deep on their health and background and stuff like that. So it's been a transition, but I mean, so far it's totally worth it because I'm doing a lot more issue paid on less submissions. So
Right. So you're getting paid more and being able to talk to less clients.
yeah. So it's a lot higher per sale, to be honest. So it's kind of giving me better quality of life to be able to put that time somewhere else in the business.
Yeah. I love that. And just to clarify for anybody who's new and maybe doesn't know, so simplified issue, when Riyadh says that, is like final expense mortgage, they're getting approved on the spot, they're going to pay their premium and you're going to get paid in like 48 hours, right? When you do a bigger IUL policy, you might have to wait. It could be, it goes through underwriting, takes a little bit longer. So it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 8 days, it could be anywhere in between there that is taken for the time to process. Now, Riyadh, love that. I want you to talk a little bit about, because I want to get into some real transparency here. What do you see on a daily basis when you see the majority of agents that maybe come in and they don't do a good job, or maybe they quit, or they fail out, or they're like, the industry was not what I thought it was going to be, right? Because we have a lot of new people on the call. What are some things that you're seeing that you think is the main cause of agents who maybe don't do well, or they quit, or they don't like it, or they're like, this is not what I signed up for? What's the reason for that?
I know exactly what it is. And Des and I have been trying to push it on our trainings a lot more. It's like, we have the training to do this. You have all the training you need, all the tools, right? You have the mentorship. We're literally the best in the life insurance space. So what does it come down to? It's literally just activity and leads, right? Since I got here, I've bought leads every single week for 4 years. There's not a week that I have not bought leads. Even the weeks that I did not work because of convention or something, I bought leads, right? So every single week for four years. Activity. When I first started, I wanted to learn this fast. I was doing 800 to 1,000 dials every single day for like my first 3 to 4 months. Right? I see a brand new agent come in, we're tracking it a lot more. We actually have a section for daily KPIs. And when I see people post 100 dials, I'm like, that's just not enough to get to where you want. You're just going to take a while to get really good at this, because this truly is just a numbers game. You know, you don't have to do 1,000 dials every day for the rest of your career here. But if you guys want to get good at this fast and become profitable, just shorten your learning curve. Right? Exactly, Des. So I think that and the leads, people like, you know, I think Digna was saying, or Violetta was saying, is people are scared to buy leads and invest in themselves. Like, that's truly it. But the way this should go is, you guys sell a policy, you immediately take that money and buy another stack of leads. You're going to sell another policy. That's just how it works. But you guys will spend $1,000, you'll get a sale, and then you'll just dial those leads for like 3 weeks. And that's not going to cut it. Right.
Right, Riyadh. That's what I was going to ask you.
You also don't see what's coming from the, like, I'm selling leads right now that I bought 6 months ago. You don't see that. So it's hard to put it into like your ROI, right? If you are spending money right now, you're going to see additional money from that later on, as long as you're working those leads.
Yeah, I love that. And Riyadh, was that hard for you, even if you had bad weeks, right? So there's some weeks where you maybe don't make a sale, or the amount that you wanted. Was that hard for you to be like, I'm still buying leads no matter what?
I mean, it's different for everyone, right? For me, it wasn't, because I've played poker for a living for 10 years of my life. So it's the same thing. You buy in, you're investing, and then you play to win money. So I was used to investing in myself for, you know, over 10 years doing it that way. So it just made sense to me. And when I saw the business model and I saw what people were doing, it's like, if you're talking to someone that's making 50 grand a week and they're telling you, hey, spend $1,000 a week on leads, that's what will get you there. That's what you should do if that's the result that you want. Right? Don't just spend $200 here, $300 there, $500. You got to pull the trigger. And with that, hopefully you'll put in the work, which is what I did. My first lead purchase, and I didn't even listen. My first one, I spent $700 on my first. After that, it was 1,000 plus, right? So, I mean, just this business is so simple. You just have to buy leads, and you have to have a lot of activity, and really anyone can do it. And the ones that do, you asked me earlier, like, why do people leave our company, or why do they you know, fizzle out? It's because they're not doing those two things at a high level. It's not because they're not good enough to do it. Right? Like we said, the training is here. We have training every single day of the week. You could jump on anyone's training call 5 times a day if you wanted to, and they're explaining the same stuff you'll hear over and over and over. So what is it? It's just you don't have enough activity and you're not buying enough leads.
Right.
We
I love it.
overcomplicate it because we're human, right? Our brain is like, If you guys could just shut off your emotion and buy leads and dial the phone, you'd be top 10 too, easily. I guarantee it. And that's a couple of things that I've done to shut off my brain. And that is early on, I started doing automatic lead buys weekly. That way I don't even have to think about it. My credit card gets charged. I see a notification on my phone and I get an email. It's time to go to work. Right? I would recommend anyone that can do that. It's a really good thing to do. That way you don't have to think about it. You're just automatically purchasing leads. They're coming in. When you have $1,000 hit your credit card, you're gonna work. Right? At least that's how I did it. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta work. At one point I was like 4,000. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not working enough.
Yeah.
So
That's huge. I love that. Well, Riyadh, thank you so much. You've sold more insurance than a lot of us on this call combined. So we're just happy and grateful to have you. And guys, super straight up, right? It's like, we don't, Riyadh, I think sometimes when we talk about leads so much, it's like, it gives off the impression that we care if you buy leads. We don't care if you buy leads. We don't need you to buy leads. Riyadh and I don't get paid if you buy leads. We're just telling you what the reason for our success is as a whole. And everyone on this call, they get leads. And the majority of people that come from other companies to join us, 100% of the time, almost, it has to do with, we have a lot of lead availability and people are tired of knocking doors. They're tired of selling to their warm market. They're tired of trying to figure out how to generate their own leads. So drop a Riyadh or an RM in the chat for our 2-time Hall of Famer. Riyadh, thanks so much for being on with us tonight.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, Miss Alicia Andrade, can you hear me, girl?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, 35K this month, absolutely crushed it. That is not your biggest month either. A very big one, but not your biggest, right?
My biggest. No, the biggest was 42.
42. Okay, so biggest month, 42 personal. This month, 35. How many hours did you work this month per week to get to 35K?
I definitely locked back in, which was a lot of fun. But working like 60 plus, I think that's like the only way to do it if you want to do really big numbers. And I heard a lot of people the same thing, like Monday through Saturday. Sundays, I do referrals on Sundays, or I'll like tell my clients it's like a special appointment. Like I only do special clients or referrals on Sundays, and they love that. But other than that, just Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, pretty much.
Love it. And what leads are you primarily doing right now?
I like the IUL leads. The CRM center has been good, and then running through Facebook.
Okay, but majority IUL business.
Yeah, pretty much all IUL business, and then picking up some vet here and there.
Okay. So Alicia, what I would love for you to talk about, because you even said it at the beginning, you said I locked back in. So
Yeah.
you've had really huge months, and then you've had some months that aren't so huge, right? And then you come back out of the gate and you're like, dude, I'm dropping 40 this month. What is the difference in what you're like, what's the difference in you, right? So talk to people about when you have low months versus when you have these killer months. What are the different things that you're doing to make that happen?
Okay, so this is like full like transparency. I travel a lot, like a lot. Like there was times like the last 6 months of last year, I think like there wasn't one time where I was home for more than 11 days. And I don't live anywhere near family. My family's everywhere. It was just crazy stuff last year, health issues, people passing away, funerals, having to go through houses. Like it was a lot. But it was like I was on a trip and I was having to like check into my trip before I even got to the next one, trying to work here or there, trying to be here for somebody or go through something, and then having to like jump on an appointment, right? It's not feasible when you don't like lock in with your time. And so I literally told my friends and family, like, I'm not going anywhere the first couple months of the year. Like, I really just need to like hammer in, lock back in. I know I'm good at this and I need to prove it to myself again. So being able to do that and then like do the right things. Like, I know it sounds silly or maybe stupid, but like getting up at 5, 6 a.m., working out, filling your cup, eating right. Like, what are you go to church? Are you spiritual? Are you praying? Are you meeting up with people with that same mindset? Are you growing consistently? And are you putting in the effort for yourself? Right? Like, not just like, I was talking about like tithing your time at church. Like, what does that look like for you? Like, are you taking your time and using it intentionally? Right? So, just being more intentional with my time and filling my cup like to the brim before I'm ready to outpour into my team or outpour into any clients. So I think that's really important. If you're not doing that already, do things in the morning before you jump on dials or before you spend time with your team to really invest in yourself and feel like I'm 100% I'm ready to like take on anything that is gonna come my way.
Yeah, I love that. And Alicia, you made such a good point about like your schedule before. It's kind of comes back to that idea of, are you controlling, you know, tithing your time? Are you controlling your day, or is your day controlling you? And that can get hard, like with your family, your friends, you have stuff coming up. All of a sudden it's like, I said I was going to do this, but then this person pulled me this way and this person pulled me that way. The best people in the business, guys, are the people that can control their time, their day, and their schedule, and not let all this outside chaos be able to do it, right? Because to other people, you're an independent contractor. So it's like, you don't have to work today, right? I love my friends always said that. It's like, you work for you, you don't have to work. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. If I don't work, I don't have a job, because I work for me. So,
Exactly.
Alicia, I also love having you on too, because you have gone through a lot of stuff in the business, right? You're still here, you're kicking, you're crushing, but no better person to talk about when you have hard days, when you have hard months, when you have hard weeks. How many times have you wanted to quit the business? And why haven't you quit the business when you want?
Oh man. Yeah. I think like at least once a day. And if you don't, then you're not doing this right, to be honest. But I believe in myself. And I think like I've always wanted a certain lifestyle. I've always wanted like certain things, not even just like money or things. Like I wanted to give back to people. If I see like little things at the mall, or if I see like a design or something that I want my mom to have, I want to buy it and not worry about it. Like I want to give back to the people that have also blessed me, or like go to a steakhouse and then be like, there's a homeless guy in the corner. Like I'm going to buy him something, or I'm going to give somebody money, or you know what I mean? It's just like, how can I bless other people through how I'm being blessed through this business? And I think it's just, if you want something bigger for yourself and you see yourself getting it, like this is a perfect place to do it. It's a cash cow business. You can fund your lifestyle in other ways with the money that you're making here. You don't have to love insurance. You don't have to, I mean, like I was a grievance counselor, so this was like perfect plug and play. I'm like, cool, I get to talk about death all day again. Sick. And now I do retirement. So totally different, right? But I like what this is able to do for me, and I'm able to fund my dreams later on. So I think if you guys can plug in now, like it doesn't have to be insurance, doesn't have to be the thing. Like it can be anything else. Like Nina and Hayden, they've been amazing with how they've been able to reinvest back into real estate. Like there's so many other ways for you to do this, to build other dreams, you guys. This doesn't have to be it, but it can be what funds those dreams. So I think if you can plug in as much now and then use the money later, and then you've got residuals, you've got a team, like you're setting yourself up. So
That's Mike, girl. You killed it. I'm not even saying anything else, you guys. Thank you for being on, guys. Drop an AA in the chat. Alicia, I'm excited for this. You're gonna go. You're coming back, and it's gonna just go up from here. All right, guys, we're getting to the end of the call. We're staying on the call, just so you guys know. We do this once every 2 weeks. Our last 4 producers are all above $39,000. So if we go a little bit extra, and it is the difference between you being where you're at right now and making $39,000, I would hope that you would stay on the call and get your notepads out and keep being ready to learn. All right, Miss Digna DeLeon Morris, $39,000 issue paid personally this month. Thank you for coming.
Sure, I'm excited. This is good. So
I love this.
what's my question?
Well, first of all, Diggs, tell us how many hours. Now, I know you're working like you don't even probably sleep, but I want to just talk about, let's forget about the team for a second. How many hours do you think you're putting into your personal production, and what leads are you running?
So I work 6 days a week, and I work with my team. So I do a lot of selling with my team now. So I present, and then they handle the back end of that presentation. That's how I sell my IULs today. And I do that because I'm teaching, I'm training. They learn how to do a real presentation for a client and what the clients need to know about an IUL before they say yes, right? And then for me, I do this all day, every day. Like I'm helping my agents close a sale, or I'm, doing an appointment with someone, but I focus a lot more time on my business, right? Because I work on my business, like, new leads or whatever, marketing team and all that other stuff that we do, for the agency, and recruiting all day long. But I do sell just to teach my team that I could still do it, right? Like the other day I had a guy on the phone, and I'm like, he gave me all the reasons why he would not give me a bank account. And at the end of the day, he gave me a bank account. It was a $12,000 policy, $1,000 a month. And it's because I love this. I really do. I love taking someone that needs an IUL, not knowing that they need it. They come in like to get information, and they realize, oh my gosh, I need this right now. So I love doing that with the team, teaching them how to do this right, because it's not that I'm perfect, but I care so much about the people that I want to help to do an IUL that I just want to make sure that they understand what they're getting into. This is not something you're going to pay for 3 months. This is something for the next 20, 30 years because you're still young and you don't want to retire poor, right? You want to have some money. So that's about selling personally. So I do this. This is what I do, right? This is part of my life. This is not something that I cannot wait not to do this. And no, I look forward to this every single day. I have a new idea, something new that I want to do with the team. And when you learn to love this, it's so amazing. Like my husband and my kids got to take me out of the office. Like I want to be here all day. And I'm like, okay, I need a break. I need to step out. But yeah, that's kind of the thing that's what I do.
Well, if you guys didn't get that, that's why she sells a lot of insurance right there, because she just will go and go and go and she'll just keep going. But no, Diggs, we love you. And that was actually going to be my question, one of my questions for you. So some people, not a lot of people, but they come in and they're like, I just really want to build a team and I really love to recruit and that all sounds fun, but I don't really think I'm going to sell. Okay. Some stats for you, 5 or 6, actually 6 of the top 10 producers that we are interviewing tonight are also in the top 10 managers. So how important is selling personal insurance if you want to build a team?
Yeah, I don't believe you should be building a team unless you know how to sell insurance. Because how the heck are you going to tell your people to sell insurance when you don't know how? For me, it's about integrity, right? Like I could take anyone that never sold an IUL and show them how to do it because I've done it at a high level. Okay, I did Hall of Fame last year. My highest one was like 86,000 in a 30-day period because this is not that complicated, and this is where I think people like just I don't know, it's not complicated. This is simple. People that want this product, they put their information, they even tell us how much money they want in the IULs. Like anybody could do that. I have people that just got the license and they could sell an IUL, right? Like it's not that complicated. So that's why I know if you want to build a team, guys, and here's the other thing, it's not about you paying your bills, like to build a team, like I could have a new car, this, that, whatever. It's not about that. You got to have a vision. You got to know why you want to do this. Because if your goal for the month, let's say, is for your bills and your responsibility, then where is your team's vision? If your goal is to do 100K a month and you have 10 people in your team and each of them want to do 100K, how are you going to help them? That's $1 million agency right there. So you have to build a vision big enough that everyone's could go inside your vision and then work every day, invest in your people so that they build the business with you. Because for me, it's easy now. Like I really feel like sometimes I'm like, did I just get paid all that money for what I did this week? Like I feel like I'm like I should work more. Like I'm not working enough because it could get that easier as you grow. I'm not kidding you. My phone doesn't ring like it used to when I was making 30K a month. It doesn't. I don't call Marissa all day, every day because she gave me the tools. And now I could go ahead and empower other people to do the same. And that's what I'm telling you today. Don't wait for anyone. You don't need permission. We're going to give it to you tonight. Go build a big agency. Go do what you need to do. Buy some leads. Get on the phones, activities and leads. You do whatever you want here. You could recruit the world. Everybody wants to be here. They need to be here because this is the best opportunity in America today. I mean, seriously. That's all I got.
Digna, how do you say mic drop in Spanish?
El micrófono caído. Oh no, we don't say it like that.
That was harder than I envisioned it was going to be, so I'm not going to try, but I'm going to practice later, and then so the next time you talk, I can say that. I'm going to go to Google Translate after this. Digna, thank you so much. You are a force to be reckoned with, and we're just excited to have you.
Thank you. I love you. You're the best.
All right, Nick D. How do I D'Ambrosio?
It's D'Ambrosio.
D'Ambrosio. So it looks fancier than
It's all right. Yeah.
Okay. It's easier than I expected it to be. Let's go with Nick D. We got Nick D and Nick P. Nick, I'm very excited. This is your first team call that you've been on with us, right?
Yeah, that I've gotten to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited, guys. Drop a Nick D or an ND in the chat. Nick, $39,000 issue paid with 1 week left. This is your biggest month ever. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm really trying to. I hope 40,000 is in that week 5.
Top 3 producers out of over 200 people paid this month. That's pretty crazy, right?
Feels good.
I'm excited for you. All right. How many hours a week are you working to get to that number?
So I come in 9, leave at 8 usually. So pretty much, I don't know what that equals out to. I forget the math on it, but yeah.
40, 50, 60. It's a lot of hours. It's full time.
hmm
Legit.
hmm Yeah.
All right. And what leads are you running?
Mostly vets right now. I was doing a blend of IUL and vets, but this past month was primarily just vets. A
Okay.
referral here and there, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, Nick, talk to us about, so biggest month ever. What are the things that you changed to go from, right, before you were in that 15,000 mark, 15, 20, 10? What did you change to go to 39, almost 40?
It was really just lead spend. So I did my issue pay was not as much as what I wrote, but in like October, November, I spent a lot on leads. I knew I had the skill. I knew I worked hard. My lead flow was just not the best. So October, November, took the jump, wrote a lot, spent a lot on leads. December, January, I don't know why I kind of just fell off, took the foot off the gas. And then I was like, why would I do that? I want to do that again. So March, I decided to just do exactly what I did back then and just write more solid business. That way it would all issue pay and whatnot. So really just upping my lead spend. I think it was 6.6K last month in March is what I spent.
So $6,600 to issue 40.
Yeah.
I think that's a trade most people would make. And Nick, you said something that's super important, and I don't want you guys to skim over this. He said, and this is really all it is. So that's why I hate when people say, oh, she has this, or he has this, or he has that. Guys, he just said, I made a decision. He said, I decided that I was just gonna do it this month. I just decided March was the month. And that's really how deep it is. Like, just decide you're going to do it and then take the action and go do it. Like, it's not anything crazy. There's no magic lead. There's no magic script. There's no magic name or magic product. Nick said, I decided I was going to do it in March because I was mad at myself for not doing it the previous month. And then I just did it. Like, it's really, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
So Nick, talk to us about some stats. So you talked to us about how much you're spending.
hmm
Legit sales. I mean, how many dials are you making? How many times you call each lead? What if someone doesn't answer? How many times you think you're getting no-showed, to give these guys a realistic expectation of what the work needs to look like?
So I started timing every day how much I dial and time I actually spend on the phone. Someone's at convention said they started doing that. Someone that was on stage. So I was like, all right, let me start doing that. It's honestly not as much as you'd think it'd be. Every day I always say I could have dialed more, but I had a sale. So, complacency gets the best of me sometimes. But I always say that if I hit 3 hours worth of phone time a day, there should be a sale there, at least. And sometimes it might take a little more, sometimes it might take a little less. And to a lot of people, they're like, wait, that sounds like not a lot. It's not, which is the crazy thing. But sometimes for newer agents, it takes longer. But when you have fresh leads and you have your skill up, you know, doesn't take all that much time to actually get a sale. Now, no shows happen all the time. Uh, Appointments are disappointments. That's my favorite saying. And then always just going through old leads as well. That's always, like Riyadh said, he's selling things that he bought, it was like 6 months ago. And when you're helping new agents start, your old leads are just as good as, new ones will almost pretty much just as good as new ones they would buy. So, I mean, no shows always happen. Appointments are disappointments, but as long as you just keep dialing fresh leads and stay consistent, you can do 30 plus K. It's doable.
Now, Nick, you said 3 hours of phone time, right? So you talked about you get to the office at 9. I can see you're still at the office now. You're in the office with a bunch of other dudes who are selling. So when you say 3 hours of phone time, is that included of like, I went to the bathroom and I made lunch and I talked to my friends and then we played basketball out in the parking lot? Because that's what I used to do as a new agent when I sucked, is I would be like, oh, I dialed all day. But me dialing all day was like an hour, and then I went to the grocery store and to the gym and like messed around and got distracted. So when you, how are you measuring like my actual phone time? What does that look like?
As soon as I hit dial, I start the timer on my phone, and it'll ring, it'll ring, it'll ring. I'll dial the next person, dial the next person. If someone stops to talk to me, I'll pause the timer. If I go to the bathroom, it's paused. If I do lunch, it is paused. Or if I'm on the phone with a client as well, it's like dials and talk time on the phone. It doesn't include back office stuff. It literally is a timer for like how much money I can make per hour of actually working.
So
And
talking to Lindsay at America is not dial time, guys.
no, nothing besides actually talking to prospects and just hearing a dial tone is it's not dialing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I say I work 60 hours a week, but really it's not that much. If I look from, I'm not going to include Monday because Monday was the 31st, but last week from Tuesday to Saturday, the total time was 14 hours and 51 minutes.
And that's
And
what your timer on your phone is showing.
yeah, like total. I refresh it every day, but yeah. So that equals 12-month advance, $890 an hour, and then 9-month advance, $585 an hour.
Yeah, I think I would take $890 an hour. So guys, this is so important. And I'm so glad you said that, Nick, because this is the nitty gritty that I wanted to get down to. First of all, the timer thing is genius, right? I haven't heard of a lot of people doing that before, if anybody. So timer's legit. Start your timer when the dial tone starts, and that's your actual dial time, right? And that is the real thing. Because right, getting to the office at 9. So it's like, hey, we got to the office at 9. Technically, I'm working 60 hours a week, but the actual time that I'm really spending on the phone is only 15 hours. If I'm timing, no distractions, no lunch, no going to the bathroom, no playing basketball with the homies, right? Like that's legit. So I love that you said that. And that is where obviously it's making a huge difference for you. So I'm going to be implementing that. I think we all should be getting a timer and tracking that. All right, Nick, you're the bomb. I'm super proud of you. Anything you want to leave, any last advice you want to leave for any agents that want to hit their goal this month?
Buy leads. That's it. Just buy leads and work and make your luck.
Leads. I love it. You're killing it. Thanks for getting on with us tonight.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we got 2 left. We got another Nick. Nick P, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, what's up?
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I feel like I can't even talk to you without smiling because you just have such a good smiling face and such good energy.
Yeah, they used to call me Smiles when I played baseball, so.
Yeah, I believe it. Okay, Nick, absolutely crushing it. You've had a lot of big months. Right now you're at 39. Is this the biggest, or have you had a bigger one than that?
Yeah, I think it's about the biggest. Last month I did 38. I did like 38.4, 38.5. This month is 39.8. Hopefully by week 5, when it comes out, I'll do 40. But I've consistently every month been doing like 35K, 33, 35K. So my goal is really just to continue to sell at a high level. And now I've been recently, plugging people more in the system, going out of my way to talk to people and introduce new people in the business so that I can teach them how to sell at a high level like me and do more than me and help people.
I love it. Okay, Nick, so you've been with us like just over a year, right?
Yeah, last year was my first calendar year. So yeah, it's a year and 4 months.
All right. And if you guys didn't know this, Nick was our rookie of the year in his first year with over 250K last year, issue paid. Nick, before this, I want to ask you a serious question. So you made 35-ish thousand in deposits last month. When you came on your first dial day for FFL at the office, how much money did you have in your bank account?
Oh, I had like 3,000, I think.
Okay.
4,000.
So think about that, guys. Like before this, it was like nothing. And now it's consistently 35K a month. And how old are you?
23. I just turned 23.
How gangster is that? Okay, so Nick, you first came, and I always tell this story, but I'm going to keep telling it because we have a lot of new people joining us on the call tonight. You played college baseball, you come in, you start insurance with practice company. That company, we won't name their name, but they're not good. You come over here. The first 3 weeks you're in the office, you're struggling to close.
Yep.
Okay. Any advice, but you stuck it out. You didn't make a sale for the first at least 2 weeks you were here. A lot of people want to make a sale on their first day or they're out. What's your advice for new agents who are maybe struggling to make their first couple sales?
Yeah, I would say for someone who's struggling to make their first couple sales, number one, when I started, me and the other guys that are in the office, we all started together. So we were all trying to figure it out. So I would say the biggest thing is having a good script with objections on it and then, like laying it all out. I've put a lot of time in trying to make something that other people like my goal, even though I haven't really built anything big, but I want to and I have a vision. Just like doing everything I can with making the resources to make people like have an easier time rather than when I started. So like objections was, a script with objections on it. I tell them, hey, if you say exactly what I say to a T and you say exactly what the script says with the objections and make it in your own way a little bit, then there's no way you can't be successful. So the first person I really was able to help that with Justin, my friend Justin, he's actually on the call right now. It was his first week. Last week, he sold 4 policies his first week, has no sales experience. He was washing cars out in the hot sun before. So he just hit me up one time. I was posting on Instagram and he hit me up. He was like, hey man, like I saw you been doing insurance. Like, how's it going? I said, hey man, it's been pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. So got him in the office, showed him, and yeah, he's been crushing it. And I'm just trying to replicate that and do it at a high level with everyone.
So Nick, I love that. And now you're doing exactly for your team, being a great leader, selling, crushing it. Why didn't you quit in those first couple weeks when it wasn't going good?
Well, number one, because I didn't have an option. I dropped out I played college. I was going to go to Florida State for school. And then I dropped out, had no degree, had no credits. And yeah, I mean, there wasn't really an option, to be honest. I didn't really know what I was going to do. So I was like, all right, like, F it. I got to just go all in. So I just went all in and I gave it everything I got, asked top producers questions and how to be the best. And I just tried to do what top producers did, not, do what people didn't do that weren't selling a lot. I wanted to do what top producers did so that I can do that and replicate it.
Yeah.
At a
And
high
you just
level. I just asked a lot of questions. Whoever asks most questions wins.
Yeah. Now you're on Zoom every day selling in front of people unmuted, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there ever a time that you're not, or you're on every day?
No, I'm on every day, Monday to Saturday. I get to the office by like 9:15. I would say 9:15. I start dialing like 9:30 and I stay to the office till about like 7:15-ish. Sometimes I know my limits, I'll leave it a little earlier, but once I come in, first thing I do is I pop on Zoom and I'm on there all day, all night. Was on there Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. Was able to help a family on Saturday, and as well as like a bunch of people were on Zoom. So yeah, I'm on Zoom all the time, always unmuted, always camera off. Like sometimes I get a little emotional and they all hear me, but it is what it is.
I love that.
So
Nick, what do you say to those agents? Because there's some people that come in and they're like, I really want to just figure this out on my own. I'm not going to get on Zoom and I'm not going to unmute. I'm just going to go to my little corner by myself and figure this out, and I'll let you guys know. What would you say to them?
well, I mean, hey, like I said, hey, if you do exactly what I do and you listen, there's no reason you can't be successful. So like, I kind of put it in my shoes, like, hey, if I didn't go on Zoom when I was just starting, I wouldn't have done anything. I wouldn't have met the people I met. I wouldn't have learned what I learned. So you kind of close yourself off. You make your potential. It's going to take a lot longer for you to be successful if you just are closed off. So once I started to just ask questions and be on Zoom, that's when it really switched. Because you gotta be on Zoom, unmuted, camera on. Like I'm always unmuted 24/7, even if I curse some guy out. Like I'm on there, they all hear me and they all start laughing, and I'm just like, whatever, bro. Like it is what it is. But like, yeah, I just I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how you can be like possibly like scared or like I don't know about like unmuting or have the camera on. Like you should just do it. Like I don't know. It's just like just do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I love that. It's such a good mindset. Just do it. And it's so true, guys. I hate to break it to you. We have it figured out over here. Nick has it figured out. Dom has it figured out. AJ has it figured out. Other Nick, Jenna, Digna, they all are on Zoom. So you're not gonna come. I love you. You guys are my friend. You're not gonna come in here and figure it out on your own. Every single top producer that we have on our team either goes to an office or they get on Zoom every single day. There's not one single person that dials at home by themselves and they sell 40K a month. Not one. I can't even tell you one. Couldn't even tell you. So you're not going to be the one that comes in and switches it up and you're like, oh, I figured it out on my own. It's not going to happen. Right. So it's kind of like, I get frustrated because I'm like, just do what we said and you will do it. And then you're like, I don't know why it's not happening. And it's like, because you won't do anything we freaking said. You won't do what Nick said. He gets on Zoom every day. So Nick, thank you so much. You are the bomb. Nick, if people want to get on Zoom and hear you, they can get on Zoom and hear you, right?
Of course. If anyone wants my number, I can go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll go ahead and type it in there. Hit me up. I'll text you over the link. I'm on Zoom all day, every day. Just got off Zoom right before the team call. So I'm on there 24/7, Monday to Saturday. So Saturdays I usually work 9:30 to maybe like 1 or 2-ish. So I'm always on Zoom, and like for someone or for people that aren't on Zoom and like don't unmute for anything, like you're just holding yourself back. You gotta unmute, you gotta let other people listen to you, you gotta get feedback. Like I would say one thing that I did when I was in the beginning, I was always on Zoom unmuted, and I was asking people like after every call, like, hey, what do you say here? Hey, do you have any recommendations? Hey, like what can I do better next time? So,
yeah, I actually remember you doing that, Nick. Sometimes you would book the appointment and then he'd be like, hey, what could I do better? And I'd be like, Nick, you booked the appointment, bro. Like, what are you talking about? There's nothing you could do better. Like it was good. So you were so open to coaching, which is awesome. So, all right, guys, drop an NP in the chat. Nick, thanks so much for getting on with us. We're excited to see
appreciate you guys.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We have our final number one top producer, $42,000 issue paid. AJ, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thanks for hopping on with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, 42K. How does that happen, dude?
What, you want the secret?
I want the secret.
To be honest, just like everybody said, like there's never going to be a secret. You know, if you think there's a secret at the end of the day, like that's the only thing that's going to hold you back, because we all run the same leads. We all work the same amount during the day. We're all working on our skill and continually learning all the time. So if you're doing those three things, you're going to get where you want to be as long as you don't give up on yourself and you just keep going.
Yeah, I love it. So you say 60 hours a week, 50, 40?
Probably a little more, probably 70, 75.
Okay, so you're in the office 6 days a week.
Yeah. And sometimes even Sundays I'm down or doing something from home. Because even when you're not in the office, you're usually doing things either on calls with new recruits or whatever it might be.
For sure. And vet leads as well, or IUL leads?
Yep. I run mostly vet leads, final expense vet leads from Facebook. A lot of these guys, I'll tell you though, are asking about IULs just because they're seeing it on social media. So starting to get involved with those a little bit as well.
Yeah, I love it. So AJ, you've always been a big producer, but you've been an average producer. You went from being an average producer to like, now I'm crushing it. So what's the difference?
So honestly, it's not a coincidence that the most I spend is the most I write. I used to be super like conservative with what I spend, all about profit this, all about profit that. But at the end of the day, the more you spend, the more you're going to write. And, you know, if you're working when you're supposed to be working, the results are going to be there. So I spent 8 this month, I think issued 42, something like that.
Yeah, with still a week to come, which will be
Yeah.
exciting. Okay, and AJ, I love that you said that because you were the guy, you might still have a little bit of this in you, but not as much that I've seen. Okay, you were the guy that wanted to know every possible thing that there was to know about anything that could possibly happen in any given scenario. AJ would ask me, what is the cost per lead of acquisition, of a person who has brown hair that might want to be an agent here, okay? And I'd be like, AJ, bro, I don't know. So has that changed at all? And what is your advice to people that want to know everything about the industry?
I'm definitely still a little bit like that. That's not going to go away. That's just part of me. But I don't know. It's just, it comes to a time where you're just like spinning your wheels. You're going over and over. You're overthinking it too much. When I call it productive procrastination, like you're thinking about the things that keep you away from the thing that you should be doing the most. So it's just working when you should be working. I don't think you have to be perfect. I don't think you have to be working 100% of the time you should be working. If you're doing 80% out of 100 of what you should be doing, I think that's pretty sufficient. You'll have really, really good results if you're working 80% of the time that you should be. If that makes sense. I might have confused you, but
No, I'm definitely
Okay.
not. No, but I love that productive procrastination. And it's like, if you make such a good point, it's like, you don't want to not know these things. You want to know these things, but don't let me being over here trying to figure out these things stop you from making money with what you could do today, right?
yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
All right. So what's something that you've learned in the business, or maybe like a challenge that you've had in the business that you've overcome?
That's a great question. A challenge, I mean, the challenge has always been myself, kind of what you just said, overthinking it too much, trying to know too much about everything, trying to avoid always doing the work. That's yourself is always going to be the hardest thing to overcome because the results are the results. It's just a copy and paste business. So I think the hardest challenge for me was like trying to get over, whether it's fear, whether it's just analyzation, whatever it is getting over that feeling inside of yourself that is keeping you from the results that you want. I think at the end of the day, it's all internal.
Yeah. Now you're still a student, is that correct?
I am still a student. Yeah, I graduate this semester.
All right. Well, congratulations on almost graduating and not yet using your degree because
Yeah,
we're selling.
don't think I ever will.
We're selling insurance. So talk to us about the balance of that, if there is a balance, right? Because a lot of people let all these other things in their life hold them back. And you're like, I'm a full-time student and I'm selling 42 grand a month.
Yeah, I mean, school doesn't take up too much of my time. Most of my stuff is online classes. That's probably like 4 to 5 hours a week. But in terms of balance, like, I don't know, is there really a balance? Like, when you're striving for something that's more than most people are willing to work for, it's like there's not really a balance. Like, I can't say that right now, most of my time isn't spent on this. Most of my waking hour throughout the day, even the time that I'm not in the office, is spent thinking about this, thinking about what I'm going to do in the office. Honestly, like, I don't know if there is a balance. Like, it's hard to balance when you're doing like 40,000 a month, 30,000 a month. Like, there's not much balance. Most of what you're doing is working. I don't know. That's kind of all I have to say about that.
Yeah. And AJ, why do you even want to do that? I mean, I kind of asked Dom this, but like you're in your 20s, you could make 20 grand a month, call it a day, go out, have fun, party, hang out with your friends, finish your schoolwork. Like, why are you going above and beyond and really making a go at this thing?
So honestly, most of my life, I didn't really like, I don't know. I always kind of put limits on myself. When I went to college, I was such a degenerate. Like, I would black out, get drunk every single night, just be stupid, go crazy. And I had this realization, like, if I do this forever, like, what is my life going to be? Like, where am I headed the next few years? Like, I don't want to work an office job. I never liked following rules. I didn't want to sit behind someone giving me orders, tell me what to do every day. So I don't know. There's a point where I was just like, yo, let's chase dreams. Like, let's do this. Some other people are doing it. Like, why not me? Why can't you do it? You know?
I love it. All right, AJ, give us something tangible and then we'll get everybody out of here. 42K. What's a tangible thing that you say on your sales calls, maybe one or two lines that you think helps you close a lot of sales?
I think the biggest thing that I don't see a lot of other people doing before I'm about to go into an application with clients, I really, really I try to make it like not transactional. So I'm usually like, John, in 7 to 10 days, you'll get the policy pack in the mail. I have them save me in their contacts. So I don't just say, hey, save me in your contacts. I'll say, go to your contacts app, open this, type my name in, this and that. And I tell them they're going to call me when they get the policy review. I'll go through everything with them. And most people never really call. But I feel like from the client's perspective, like, okay, this person isn't here just to sell me this thing one time. They're going to be here with me. They're here to do this with me, review it with me, make sure I'm happy. I think it kind of lengthens the sales process in their mind rather than just one call, never talk again.
Yeah, and helps your persistency, right?
Yeah, definitely helps with persistency, I'd say.
Yeah, so I think that's super important, guys. Like, I'm going to be your agent for life, right? Some people say that. Agents, like, go to your contacts, put this in your phone. This isn't just a one hit and then we're out of here, right? Like this is serious. So, AJ, I love that. Anything else you want to leave us with? I mean,
I'd say, yeah, when I was new, I think it's like the thing that would have helped me the most is just like trust yourself, trust the process, and don't make too critical of judgments. Because if you're like only a few hundred reps in and you're just making so many judgments on the business, why you can't, making judgments on yourself, you're not supposed to be good yet. It takes 10,000 reps to be really, really good at something. So don't judge yourself. Don't judge the business until you get to that 10,000 reps. Another thing, a lot of people are really scared to invest at the beginning. I was very scared at first to invest at the beginning as well until this one thing clicked for me. And it was, if I have to spend, let's say hypothetically, I spend $5,000. Let's say over that $5,000, it produces me X amount of reps, but let's say I make 0 sales. But throughout that time, I taught and learned the skill that it takes to make more money than every single month. So rather than the results, what's more important is the skill. So if I'm going to spend $5,000 to acquire a skill that's going to pay me every month for the rest of my life, that's a good investment. So even if you don't make any money on your sales, you're investing in your skill set, you're acquiring a skill that's going to pay you forever.
Wow. Even if you don't make any sales, you're buying the skill set. That's pretty gangster. All right, guys, I want you guys to remember that. I want you to write it down. I don't want to take anything away from it. AJ, thank you so much. I'm very, very proud of you. I couldn't be more honored to be in business with you. I'm excited. Out of 200 agents that were paid, 42K, you're on top this month, and I expect that you will continue to stay in that spot. I'm proud of you. Guys, thanks for sticking it out. This is a very long call, but when you have 10 people that do this well, they all bring so much value, and you can go from 0 to 40K next month. I think that is worth an hour and 29 minutes of your time. So guys, drop an AJ in the chat. Say thank you to everyone. AJ, thanks again. And everyone, thanks again. And I'm excited. I love this call. We'll try to keep doing these in the future. So have a good night, guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks, and everyone should be on Zoom tomorrow making some sales.